Alright guys, welcome to the part 2 of forms. In our last class we talked about forms, and this was what we did. So talk about the input elements types. Say that input element has different types, and this type may cause the representation on the web page. When we say type of number, this is type of number. You can't enter text except for number. When you say type of text, input type of text, you can only enter text plus numbers. You can enter text plus number, anything. It can be email, it can be your name, it can be phone number, they are all text. So when you say input type of password, password too is a form of text, but just that it has this hidden feature inside of it, so that it can be covered when you are typing your password, so somebody else will not see it. Also have input type of email. So you can type in your email, you can validate, which means if you forgot to put the at something, is going to tell you that, oh, you're missing it, so put at. So you also have an input type of radio. This radio, we use it to take in gender. It can be gender, it can be anything of your choice. We also have type of number. We also have input type of button. Now there are more input types. There are more input types than this. So let me just take all these things off, and then let me create another file and call it forms2.html. So how we do here is to, and then so enter, then let's go on forms. Let's say forms is a block element, so note that as well. Forms is a block element. So forms also have this input type, also have, for instance, I want to receive file from somebody. I want the user to input a file. It can be any type of file. Sorry, it can be any type of file. How do we take that? We just change the type to file. So when we change the type to file, the user will be able to pick a file from their system to our website, and then for upload. So let's just put button as well. Let's say submit, so that you can just be there. Break elements is to create space between elements. Alright, another element of fonts that we'll be looking at is the select fonts. For instance, select is a select. This select has a property of name and then ID, but we don't need this for now. But inside select, let's say we have a list of, let's put a break element here. Let's say we have a list of courses the user should pick from, or a list of number of fruits this user should pick from. It can be mango, pawpaw, guava. We can use a list to do that, but this, why is this necessary? Because the user is actually imputing something, is actually want to give you a data. So for us to do that, we use the element inside the select called option, and this option has an attribute of value. Now this is not just like the attribute of what we have in that input type value. This is a different one. So we can say in this first input, that will be the first thing to show on the page, select list of fruits. So that's the first thing we are seeing on our page, and then we can duplicate and then start to list our fruits. It can be list of city. You can also have it to be mango. So let me just make this thing very fast, and then Control D to duplicate your cursor and then shift alt down to duplicate line. We can say purple, purple, and then we can say orange. So you can have more, but make sure that this option element is inside this select element. That is how it's going to create a drop down like this, so the user can pick from it. Why are we adding this value? Because when you add these values to your option, when the user selects mango or pawpaw, this value is what will be submitted to your database, not this one, but this value. That's what will be submitted. So whatever you put here is what your database will receive, and not this one you're writing between. That's why I said it is a little bit different from the input type button element. All right, that is one. And the next one we'll be looking into is checkboxes. Checkboxes. How do we do that? Let's first create an element, and we create checkboxes using the same input element. You can see that input has a lot. Instead of type of text, we say type of checkbox. We'll say type of checkbox. You can see this is a checkbox. So we can say, for instance, we can say list of states. You can say list of states. Say select, or I say okay, select list of food. The food. So this can be, let's say, soup, for instance. So the user can select that if they want to. Then we can also have Gary. Also have chips. Sorry, chips. So this, the user will be able to select multiple. Now I want you to note the difference between checkbox and radio box, radio input type. In radio input type, you are permitted to select one. Also try to make it to select one, because you just want to receive the agenda, or you can use it for other stuff, but you select one. But in checkboxes, you can select as many as you want using checkboxes. All right, the next thing I still want us to talk about is, for instance, let's say you want the user to leave a message for you. What element could you use inside your form? Is called text area. It's called text area, and this text area, that's what we can see here. And this text area has a property of name, ID, column, and row. But for now, we are not going to be talking about all these two. We're going to take it out. Now, this column is the horizontal. How long do you want the width of the text area, and this rows is the height of your text area. If we say the column should be 10, then you're going to see how shrink it to be. We say the rows should be, let's say, 50. It's going to be, you can see how long it is. So this is used to control the width of your text area, while this is used to control the rows of your text area. All right, another type of input element that we have again is called the date input. Dates. So let's just give a break element here. It's called dates input. So we can say input type dates. So this will enable the user to pick a date, maybe of his birthday. So you can say birthday. They always put DOB, date of birth. So this can be used to take the user date of birth, you can use this, and also you can also say date time. So when you say, okay, sorry, not date time, you can use this date to take the user birthday. And also if you want to get the time, you can also say time is a type as well for user to be able to put the time if you want to. So these are valuable uh, uh, element that you can use. But we are going to take one example, and then I'm going to give you something to try out as well. All right, let me take this example. Let's say I want to create something like this: name, sex, and then select option to select your country, and then message, then subscribe, then a button. How do we do that? Okay, name and then sex. So let me create another element, another file that's called form. But instead of creating another file, we can just make use of this. Now, before I go into it, HTML, let's talk about comments. In HTML, we comment by using angle bracket, forward, dash dash, exclamation mark, dash dash, then dash dash, angle bracket. Now, what does comment mean? Comments mean comment is something that programmers use to take a note concerning their site. You can take a note, and then the computer ignores this. This is how we can write a comment. Don't forget how to write it. We open, it has a opening um, symbol and then a closing symbol as well. So this is how we write a comment. The computer totally ignores it, so you can write something here and it will not be displayed on your page. So what I want to do now, we can comment out what we've just written here, and then it's not going to show on our page. That is a way we can also, for instance, we've written something and then we cannot just delete it. Maybe we need that same thing we've written in the future. We can just comment it out from the page. So say exclamation mark dash dash, and then we can come down here and say dash dash angle bracket. So you see that this is commented out. That's how to use a comment. So we're going to create another form for that example, and then in the example they say they want a name. So let's just take a look at the example again that we are doing. This is name. So since it's name, because we're going to put them into an element called label. So say name, so input, I'm going to say input, and then that is the text. So we can here say name, and then what they want us to do again is sex. So how do we create this? Is using radio button. So instead of this name here, we can say sex, and then this can be a type of radio. So you can say male and then female. So but remember to use the name attributes so that you will not be able to select more than one. Okay, you cannot be male and also be female, so you should be able to select one. So this name attribute helps us to do that. Let's see what we've done so far. This is what we've done so far. So we are just going to use a break element here to break it down. So this is what we've done so far. Pretty much looking at the example. So we are going to do this as well, and then create this drop down that we have here, and then drop down, say select country. We say okay, say country, and then instead of using this, we're going to take this, then use the element called select. You can look at how this is looking. So we're just going to take this one out of the way, and then expand this. say option. Now option, we can say select option. So since it is country, we can have more here. We can say Nigeria, and then here we can put Nigeria and more other country if you like. And then again, what else again? The next one is this. So we can use a break element. Then this is a text area, which I just text area, and then we are not making use of this, just the width and the height, that is the rows and columns. So the next one is, how do we do this? This is called checkbox. So you can use a break element, then you can say input of check box. But what does it have at the front? It's called subscribe. Then you can also have break element and then button element. This will be submit. So we are done writing the example. So if we look at our work, you can see that we have exactly what they want us to have. But you see, I'm having an error here: sex, male sex, female. No, it's not supposed to be so. That is because we are having this here. So it's just supposed to be sex and then male and female. So you see now, you can select your country, Nigeria. You can put your name and then text area for whatever you want to write. You can check the box and then you click on submit. Alright, that is all about forms that I want you to know. There are more to it, but these are the basic things and advanced things that you pretty much use every day and pretty much what you will be using every time if you want to. So your classwork will be this. Alright, my friend, this is your classwork or assignment. Try to do this and then you are good to go. And for the colors, you see the background colors, and the button also has a color for you to put color that I've taught you. You can put color in each element, but let me just briefly go through this stuff so that will help you better. For this button here, I say that every HTML element has an attribute called style. So in this style, I can say background color, background hyphen color. I can say red in this button, and then you see the button is red. And you can do that in any of the HTML elements. Even in this one, you can say style, and then say, you can say background color blue, and then you see that it is blue. Then even in the form, which is the parent element, you can say background color, you can say style, background color cyan, and then you can see it is looking cyan. Right, this is how you can put colors in any element of your choice that you want to put color. This is your assignment, so please, this is your classwork assignment. Do it and then see you in CSS class. All right, thank you.